So this may be a still person. So I don't know who that is. Scotty. So that's Scotty. He's huge. So I don't know. Again, that's where that was. That's not the move. They put that shit out there. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's basically. I think you never started. I went to. Right. If I did my shit like that, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, put 2 feet into that.
Oh, no, no, we'll leave it right here. It's fine. Here is very safe. Here, here, anywhere. Yeah, they were always surrounded by flames like this.
I said that means y'all going messing it up because I did that on my day two. This is a lot of like I'll let me know because I'll be here. All right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We have this. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember the whole. As long as it's I was gonna say, it's usually
What did you shoot?
this is not the upstairs.
Oh, okay. The one on was it on Third Street? Yeah. Okay, cool. What'd you use? Okay. Nice. Did you did you feel comfortable? Somewhat. Oh. Good. Yeah. That's good. People are very helpful out here. Yeah. You good?
What's that, Matt? Why do you stand over there now? Okay, that's fair. Sure.
Oh, and the 7th. Oh, yes, yes. Even if it's shut down, yeah, right. They just come behind the house. So they say, why is this like this upstairs? Is there original flooring over there?
Yeah, I can take that.
What are they? The guy upstairs said it was something to do with the light or about the light. But it's like a whole other layer of paint under here and tile. Yeah, I was over there, raised it. That's the original. Yeah, yeah, that's smart. All right, good to see you.
Likewise. All right, see you.
Hello, sir. There'll be people standing here, so I might be moving closer into there so you can see me better.
What are they doing? What's that? Oh, they're trying to shoot. Oh, they're trying to shoot.
No, that's what's up. What's up? How you doing? Just for Ireland. Perfect. How many days do you think? God, not a few years.
You asked that one question. You said,
That was something else. That was really funny.
Yeah, I'm good.
How many days do you think?
One of those ways we take a close part of the time.
is there a plan?
You sit down and then what's the exit?
You need a mic check? Or just focus? 1, 2, okay. Yep.
I asked Rounds the other day about that, and he said anybody who says that Republicans aren't talking about fixing ACAs, and then I asked him the other day, I said, that Schumer got knocked into a new zip code based on the reason why. He kept saying not to do this. So I'm like, what's that? And then it started to think that might be one of the funniest metaphors I've ever heard. Yeah. Right, Dave?
Why don't you and Craig switch spots? Favorite spots?
Oh, over here. Okay, so you'll be over there. Yeah. No. Barely, so just put up the stand in the back, but make the shot work without hitting it. Yeah, so I'll be here. Yeah, oh yeah.
Craig, this is supposed to be over the print press right here. Seriously, cameras must. This is the battle every single week. This is established in the galleries. This is print space right here. I mean, you can talk about Mike Mastrian. This event goes the very special.
I didn't. Okay, Alex. Can you address Alex's question? I just.
You don't know.
No, I don't.
That's why I'm letting you know.
No, but thank you. I need to know because I'm on the board. So thank you.
What was up?
Different gallery. It's about spaces. I don't. You can ask Alex.
Supply and demand.
Something to look forward to. we had it before the moment. And that's why. And then it's going to count up, kind of like the setting clock. So hopefully when you sit and back, chair next to you, or you push that.
No, it's a Okay.
Good. I'm gonna come back. Sounds good. And get this on together. Seriously. You make it happen. Good luck with that. If that happens in a lifetime, that'd be amazing.
Another one to add to the list.
Were you at the White House photographer's dinner?
Yeah.
Guys look great.
Oh, thank you.
You have a good time?
Were you there?
No, I saw somebody.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You had a good time?
Great time. A lot of fun. I wish the cocktail hour were a little longer.
Wow. Gotcha. Where was it? Oh, okay.
It's good. It's very nice. Very, very nice. Every year they put on a really good show.
That's great. Sounds good. Somebody had a men's hat. How you gonna do it?
It's like rooting for Shutdown.
They were just. I mean, I don't care. I'm a Phillies fan, so. Oh wow! Well, you and Brez can hang out during the playoffs. Good luck. Well, just think about it. Once you lose, now get knocked out.
the service.
Yeah, I mean,
As many people as are in there. It certainly could be close. I think it's a lot of fun.
there's a lot of making up at 5 o'clock. Exactly. Yeah.
Starting day. It's when everyone sees everyone. Spread out the shifts. And it's already
Good. You made the responsible choice. Worth a try. You like that? It's very polarizing. Turn it off. Can you hear Scotty? What, Nikki? Can you hear Nikki? Does it work?
Emily. Marissa can start filming because they're going to be out any month. So she's ready. Okay? You can start rolling. You're such an actor.
your doc team's gonna come up to you later, like, dude, can't you just have this stuff disguised? And they're like,
It's better than picking your nose. So.
oh, yeah, I gotta be, every time I like start like doing something weird, like with my hands here, I'm like, dude, you're on camera. Move.
like that's fair.
We like that sentence. Like that's what I
That's what I did today.
Oh wait, no, you know what I did? That's like
Three points and gets you.
yeah, I don't know what that is up to this for me.
It says I'm eating.
I
you're
have a
not.
sandwich, yeah, I don't know. But sure.
Is that better? It's almost got 4,000 views. All by myself. I just hit him. Well, they make it. I just hit 1,000. You're not following me already? I just hit 1,000 followers. I'm breaking the bank. Yeah, but I just got that ability. You get to 1,000, you can start monetizing. Probably have to send them all day. I am. Boom. We only have one ticket.
I just video I think
Oh, you did? Looks authentic. What, Tony? Do I what? Do I need you for something? Do I need to be some? Yes. Anywhere. Anywhere. We're not going to let that go by. No, I'm not telling anybody. Rachel, whose idea was it to come out so early? Chad's fault. Yeah, God forbid. Maybe they've come up with a deal. We've averted a shutdown. Is that Ellie Mae? She's your boss? Good days and bad days. The third one will be 13 December. Rich, I think all the things we do, this is the most work for us.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are only hours away from a government shutdown, and the Democrats have a very clear binary choice. They can choose to keep the government open by voting for a short-term, nonpartisan, clean continuing resolution, 24 pages long, or they can vote to shut the government down. That's what we're looking at. They, as you all know, have voted during the time they had the majority 13 different times, and when Biden was in the White House, on short-term continuing resolutions, 13 different times. And so it begs the question is what's changed? And I think what's changed is President Trump is in the White House. That's what this is about. This is politics. And there isn't any substantive reason why there ought to be a government shutdown. This is something that has been done routinely, as I said, 13 different times when the Democrats had the majority. But we are not going to be held hostage for over $1 trillion in new spending on a continuing resolution, nor are we going to be held hostage to allow illegals to get free health care in a continuing resolution. These are things that they're demanding as part of their so-called negotiation. Ladies and gentlemen, there isn't anything here to negotiate. This is a routine funding resolution to keep the government open so that we can continue our appropriations work and fund the government in the old-fashioned way, which is allowing the Appropriations Committee, Democrats and Republicans, to work together as they have been. And by the way, the Democrat leader keeps talking about not consulting. The Appropriations Committee, they picked the date. Democrats and Republicans, the big four on the Appropriations Committee, were consulting. They picked the date for the continuing resolution, November the 21st. And so this has been an open process from the very beginning. This year we opened up the appropriations process, something that wasn't done when the Democrats had the majority here in the Senate. But they have a clear choice in front of them today. And I hope there are Democrats out there. This may not represent the view of their leadership, but I'm hoping there are Democrats out there who are reasonable and understand what's at stake here. And as they have articulated many times in the past, the costs associated to the American people with the government shutdown. This is totally avoidable. It is a decision they're going to have to make. And if the government shuts down, it is on the Senate Democrats. The House has acted. The President's ready to sign the bill. And all that's left is for 8 Democrats to join us in passing that bill today. Senator Barrasso.
Well, the radical wing of the Democrat Party is demanding that Chuck Schumer shut down the government. If not, they'll be hell to pay. We know that Chuck Schumer has had a war room going for the last couple of months to orchestrate the shutdown. That is their plan. So he comes up with this ransom note asking for $1 trillion to just keep the government open for 4 weeks. Republicans aren't going to buy that. President Trump's not going to sign it. There's a solution, and it's a simple, clean, continuing resolution to keep the government funded for the next 7 weeks as the appropriations committees work through the process. Democrats are pretty familiar with this. They've done it 13 times when Biden was in office, and the minimum number of votes they got was 65. But Chuck Schumer continues to bow down to that liberal wing, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. The American people should not suffer the costs and the consequences of a Schumer shutdown because he is politically toxic in his own party.
All right.
Good afternoon. Do you think if the president goes through and unilaterally starts to cut programs or lay people off, that will start to resonate with some of your Republican colleagues and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, he has that authority, but these are programs or things that are important to us. Is that a risk for Republicans?
Well, it's a risk that can be totally avoided. And if you're a Democrat who on countless occasions in the past has talked about the adverse consequences, the words of the Democrat leader, harmful, painful, chaotic consequences of a government shutdown, then just vote to keep the government open. I mean, those are things that they don't control, we don't control. How a shutdown gets managed is, at this point, a hypothetical question.
But your members aren't concerned that this might backfire, and sometimes these programs come back and they say, wait a minute, that was important to my state, that was important to my district.
Our members are unified that a government shutdown is a really bad idea for all those reasons, and it's the exact reason why Democrats ought to vote to keep the government open.
Democrats have been pretty clear they're going to defeat this House CR when it comes to the floor today. What is Plan B? Will you keep on bringing this back to the floor? And do you think the House should reconvene before Tuesday to maybe move the ball?
I don't know what the House can do that they haven't already done. They passed the bill. It's a bill that's passed by the House, sitting here in the Senate, ready to be signed into law by the President. And so, no, it's up to the Senate Democrats. That's where we are. And if they decide to vote it down tonight, they're going to be the ones that have to explain at midnight tonight why the government is shut down. It's really pretty straightforward. And this is something, again, that's been routine around here for a long time until all of a sudden the far left, as Senator Barrasso pointed out, hijacked the Democrat leadership here in the Senate, and they've decided to hijack the American people and hold them hostage to try and get a laundry list, a wish list, a Christmas list of their left-wing priorities attached, in their case, to a 4-week continuing resolution. Ours is 7 weeks, but they'll have the same leverage 7 weeks from now that they have today. And as I've said before, we're happy to sit down with them and talk about the concerns they have, the issues they have with, for example, the premium tax credits. But you got to do that. You can't do that in the context of a hostage situation. They need to release the hostage.
If there is a shutdown.
Particularly your farm constituents, this seems to be having a particularly bad time for them facing a major crisis. No market in China, high input costs, low prices, and they are in a bind and going to need some additional help. Now, on top of that, they're facing a shutdown.
Right. And that's why we need to keep the government open. I'm just saying the farm service agencies in my state, the Federal Highway Administration employees in my state or any of the other states and my colleagues who are represented here, the Park Service employees in our state, these are all people that are going to be affected by this. And not to mention our military men and women, or men and women in uniform. So this is a totally avoidable crisis. And again, we are not going to be held hostage by the Democrats for more than $1 trillion in new spending and all kinds of other items on their liberal wish list to include free health care for illegal immigrants in this country. That is all part of what can be avoided if they simply vote yes tonight.
Are you ruling out negotiations with Democrats if there's a shutdown? Are you ruling out any negotiations with Democrats if there is a shutdown?
The negotiation happens when the government's open. So let's keep the government open, and then we will have the negotiation. I've said it. I've said it yesterday at the meeting in the White House. I've said it to my Democrat colleagues. We're happy to sit down and talk about these other issues that they're interested in, but it should not have anything to do with whether or not, for a 7-week period, we keep the federal government open so that this government can continue to do its work and that we can continue to do our work through the regular appropriations process to fund the government. It's this is not complicated. It's something that's happened routinely around here for a long time, including the 13 times it happened when the Democrats had the majority. So it's a binary choice. They get a chance to make that vote today, and I'm hoping, I sincerely do hope, in the interest and the best interest of the American people, that the Democrats here in Washington decide to keep our federal government open.
Leader Finn,
Thank
was
you.
it your impression? I'm like too far. Shouldn't have let him go. What? This is email from Tom.
So here's my burning question. If there's a shutdown, does the sun carry on still?
Yes.
It does?
The food, they just put out a notice today that food services still will continue.
Save. Yeah, but I need the carrot in the basement. But he said it's open. Whoa, saved my life.
You're welcome. I mean, it's not the first time I've saved your life, but yeah.
I'm sure it's not, but I mean,
Whatever you're eating.
since we're going to be trapped here.
Thank you. No, my disposal is on Friday. It's also on Saturday. Where's that?
Have they started a overnight show? What time is it? That was the show at Hospital Space, right?
Yeah, we go 12:30. Yes. I don't think it, I could be wrong.
So 11 is. They probably are there ever.
So I kind of feel slightly off of it.
They're going to do a special.
Bakersfield, California.
Julie's doing it. Because I think. They're going to do lunch. They're supposed to stop on October 6th, but then they give DC 2 week grace period to October 20th. But they've already stopped. They've already like raised us. Okay. October 6th is when we're supposed to stop using this. But they give us something. They launch us something. That's when this is. Yeah, so right now we have this is just first quarter. There's one at 7. There it is. We're keeping 1 and 7, and they're moving to 8. And so it used to be that 8 was mostly studios, and 7 was mostly lunch. So now they're building studios on 7, and they're building Israel. No, looks like they got October 20th. It just stops.
I've gotten scared.
Not like make up here. I think there's going to be some, not all their studios are going to be ready.
President's the real one.
They'll like base their studios for this for a year. But like January 1st, it's
Put it in bonfire out in the field, and that's Bakersfield. Yeah. You need to get food and 250s in the bonfires. That's Bakersfield. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about San Diego. San Diego has my heart.
we're not getting married. So it's gotta get married. It's like material.
The raining is so accurate. Like how it's not. I don't accept any San Diego stuff.
we get something, they just but they also, I guess, they describe it as a med mod. So they want the producers to get
San Diego's great. I had some good times.
and they just signed over.
They have a light rail system. Now, it's not stellar, but it'll do the job. It'll get you places, you know? It's not good.
That's what it sounds like. Sky. They have a deal with Sky. Well, yeah, we did get that contract. So it's two different things. He's already on. He's on this week. He's on. I saw him today. Kevin. It's kind of funny though. Like I want to be able to be clear. This is my last hit on MSNBC, and I don't know if I'll get that luxury. No, when it's MS now, I don't want
This, no, this for real.
Yeah, it's
5 minutes later.
right, exactly. I mean, I might have already happened. I may never be on there again. I did a hit. Like they've already been drying up. Like I did a hit last week, but I haven't had a hit. Right. But that's what it'll be like. It's funny though, the media ecosystem is like, everyone is so niche. People only watch CNN, only watch MSNBC. So, I've run into people, why? You don't work, you're doing something different? Because they don't see me on MSNBC. Because they're investment firms. It was the same thing on CNN. Once you don't appear on the thing that they watch, you might as well. You're going to be in Saturday. You're going to be here Saturday morning? Two soccer games. Something like
fascinating geopolitical. Every time I was standing with them.
Yes, you are actually. You
I
are
had people asking if I worked for Speaker Johnson after the time I was
right there. Yes, they're good in the
Because I can do that. I can't do or they can. No. She I guess they can't do that.
Yeah, he is cool. He cut down the presentations. He doesn't let everybody speak. Jumps.
Today's promotion is brought to you by
They will never run out of money for insurance.
Wait, can they still make cards?
I think so. Probably a central soon.
Otherwise, good? Good? Are you okay? Okay. Cool. Good?
This is his first year. Oh, it's his third year. Oh, are they? Is that the same something happened. If they'd start save us the water. Yeah, the walk. It's cool because it kept your team in it longer. These things are the last walk. It really tips your way, cutting down. It's all in the other. I mean, the Mets did this year. ALCS, or NLCS. Oh, that was three people talking. Any question on whether they'll? Well, what year was that? She felt like a Red Sox. The Red Sox has had more success than that. Prior to that first
Yeah,
place,
I first thing I said to him. You do it every day.
Burgess, how come you don't do your hair like you did for Mono Show all the time?
That's what I said to him.
You
First
look,
thing I
you
said
look so
to him.
sharp. Not that you don't look good now.
No, he looks
I had a double take.
My arms are longer and distracted.
He's complimenting you. I'm saying nice things. You look good.
He's not happy.
Trying to be supportive.
You know, Ryan, time slows down during a government shutdown.
Oh, does it?
It actually goes slower.
Oh, great. That's
Yeah.
terrific.
Just what we need.
It actually,
It's just what I wanted to hear.
35 days
it's
really
definitely-
felt
it's,
like a
it's,
year.
it's very similar. It's kind of like being in outer space. It actually, yeah. It gets slower during a government shutdown.
Do we shrink? Do our bodies shrink?
We'll find out. Chad was a lot taller before the two Trump.
I'm sure Hans Zimmerman read odes around this place. Yeah. Time definitely dilates during a Tyler, coming in for you.
That's true too. That's also about
Fresh legs.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Okay, we have Senators Murray and Klobuchar and Schatz. And before I get into my substantive remarks, I just heard something that Trump said. Here's what he said. We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible and bad for them, and irreversible like cutting vast numbers of people out. Well, there it is. Trump admitted himself that he is using Americans as political pawns. He is admitting that he is doing the firing of people if, God forbid, it happens. He's using Americans as pawns, as I said. Democrats do not want a shutdown. We stand ready to work with Republicans to find a bipartisan compromise, and the ball's in their court. When he says he will do things, he is taking ownership. He is taking ownership. It's just like in his first term when he said he will own the shutdown. It's just a point I wanted to make. Okay, now, we're 10 hours away from government funding expiring simply because the Republicans are not serious about keeping it open. Finally, after months of asking, months, and mounting pressure, Leader Jeffries and I went to the White House yesterday to meet with the President and Republican leaders to find a way forward. And sitting in the room, it was very clear, behind closed doors, that the President hasn't fully grasped the magnitude of the disaster he's causing Americans. As costs continue to skyrocket for Americans, thanks to Trump's tariffs, economic policies, clean energy policies, and disastrous blunders, Americans are prepared to spend 114% more on their health insurance. That's right, that just came out. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation's analysis today, without ACA premium tax credits, premiums will double, more than double on average. And this not only affects those on ACA, it affects just about every American family with health insurance, because it is, as has been documented, when they get the deep cuts on ACA and on Medicaid, they don't have as much money, and they raise the costs on everybody else. So virtually no American with health insurance is immune from these disastrous Trump cuts. And what are Republicans doing about this? Avoiding lying. This week, look at this poster. Is this the one? Here. Let's get it front and center. I borrowed Thune's poster today, as many of you saw. This is what the House Republican Conference call. Lisa McClain, the head, walked members through polling and advised them not to make the message about health care, because ours lose that argument. That's not me. That's one of the Republican leaders who's in charge of messaging. They're right. She's right. Their position is so callous, and the damage is much greater than even people thought, that it's very unpopular. So when they're up against the brutal fact that Americans are to pay, take this one up, 114% more for marketplace enrollees who currently receive financial assistance. That's the Kaiser Foundation. It's devastating, devastating to them. And let me be clear, because they like to tell lies because they can't argue the merits. So they make up things. They said they're saying undocumented people cannot and will not receive premium tax credits. They say that undocumented people are going to get these credits. That is absolutely false. That is one of the big lies they tell. so they don't have to discuss the issues. The federal government, by law that we passed, does not fund health insurance for undocumented immigrants in Medicaid, period, nor the ACA, nor Medicare. Undocumented immigrants do not get federal health insurance premiums, period. Period. They're lying. I hope you'll call them on it when they bring it up. Some of the newspapers have. Okay? I said this directly to Speaker Johnson in the Oval Office. I told him what he was saying was bull, because he said, you guys want that. And he just smirked and didn't even answer it. And why are they lying? They know how unpopular their position is on health care, that they shouldn't talk about it. Republicans know perfectly well that undocumented immigrants are already prohibited, as I said, from getting insurance on ACA, Medicare, or Medicaid. They know perfectly well not a single sentence or clause or comma that we're pushing in our bill does that, but they're lying because they know they're screwed if this debate turns into one about health care. And guess what? That's just what we are doing. We are making this debate a debate on health care. If you want an indication of how serious Republicans are about keeping the government open, who wants the shutdown? There's no better proof than the fact that Speaker Johnson sent everybody home this week, ensuring a shutdown no matter what the Senate did. So don't argue who wants the shutdown. It's Johnson. And when we asked President Trump to meet with us, Hakeem and I, by all reports, it was Johnson who made him pull the meeting back. Pull the meeting back. And if you want another indication, and so, by the way, so the House Republicans should be here, but they're home. If you want another indication of how serious Republicans are about funding the government, look no further than the deepfake AI video the President tried to put up last night after our meeting, when we were actually trying to fund the government. His video was dumb, it was childish, it was petty. It's something that a 5-year-old would do, not a president of the United States, but it shows how unserious they are. They don't give a damn about the harm they will cause with their shutdown. Now, Republicans have until midnight to cut the garbage and get serious with us about solving the health care crisis. When I was majority leader, this is what I did with Thune's chart this morning. He had all these years that we passed CRs. We passed budget bills. We did. You know why? As leader, I sat down with the Republicans every one of those years and created a bipartisan bill. Their bill is partisan. They call it clean. We call it partisan. It has no Democratic input. Thune never talked to me. Johnson never talked to Hakeem. And now Thune is saying, well, the appropriators are working at it. As Patty will tell you, they are working out, trying to work out some budget bills. But the two issues they couldn't decide were health care and rescissions, impoundment, pocket rescissions. And they all agreed the four leaders should decide that. And that's when we wrote Thune, and that's when we wrote Johnson, and they never even met with us. So that's why we were able to avoid shutdowns, because we did it in a bipartisan way. They are partisan totally with no input from us. So as Republicans continue to lie, distract, duck, hide, Democrats remain ready to get to work, negotiate a bipartisan agreement, and keep the government funded. Senator Murray. I'm going to take all my papers here. Thank you.
Well, there is less than 12 hours to fund the government. House Republicans aren't even here in town, they're on vacation. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans are about to force another vote on a bill that already did not pass and that 8 of them did not even bother to show up to vote for the first time. And Donald Trump, well, the president is resorting to AI deepfakes and bold-faced lies because the actual facts are pretty bad for him here. So here are the facts. healthcare rates are being set right now. Open enrollment is weeks away. Idaho open enrollment starts October 15th. So American citizens are about to see their premiums skyrocket. In my state, family paying $238 per month for their health insurance right now, thanks to Republicans, they could pay as much as $1,800 per month next year. Look, is the president totally unfit to hold office? Yeah. But it is not about that. This is about health care. He is choosing to shut down the government rather than work with Democrats to fix the health care crisis Republicans created. If it seems like the only sentence that Republicans can form these days consists of a noun, verb, and illegal immigrant, that's because they have to resort to outright lies to defend their truly god-awful health care policies. Their attacks on health care are already hurting American citizens, millions of them. There is no getting around it. Cutting health care by more than $1 trillion, hospitals are already laying off staff and closing down across the country. Millions are going to soon be kicked off of their health care. So Donald Trump can lie, J.D. Vance can lie, but people are still going to get those letters in the mail telling them how much more their health insurance will cost next year. Now, apparently, when President Trump was looking over Democratic health care proposals, he said, and I quote, "Go F yourself." That tells you how much Donald Trump cares about whether families go bankrupt paying for their health care. Premiums on the marketplace are set to more than double. Washington State had an uninsured rate of 15% before the Affordable Care Act. Now, because of that, it is down to 5%. People now, though, are going to lose their health insurance because of Trump and Republicans. They're going to put off their care. Many will get sicker, and some will even die. That is the reality. That is why we're here fighting for health care. I'll be voting no on the partisan Republican-only funding bill that already didn't pass a few weeks ago. I'll be voting yes on the Democratic bill that not only funds government, but also addresses this GOP healthcare crisis and protects Congress's power of the purse. I am ready to keep the government open. As I have said over the last 2 weeks, I am ready. I am willing to stay at the table for as long as it takes. But the question remains, will the Republican leadership get serious and negotiate?
Thank you, Patty. Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you, Senator Schumer, and to my colleagues. So yesterday, after weeks of waiting to see if the president would lead Senator Schumer and Leader Jeffrey go over to the White House, this is not a joke. People are literally standing on a healthcare cliff right now. For members of our caucus, when the Republicans, a whole bunch of them, didn't show up and vote last week, what did our people do? We went out and we met with the people in our state. We met with doctors and nurses. We went to rural hospitals. We talked to people that can barely hold on right now. This, what one farmer called a perfect storm of ugly. The tariffs are hitting them. The markets are drying up, and now they have their health care costs, so many of them, especially in rural areas, are on these individual plans. So what does the president do after this meeting? He posts that deep fake offensive video. This isn't a joke. This isn't political theater. He's so proud of the art of the deal, and it is his time to lead. He has said repeatedly, and you've all seen the real videos, where he said this is a time for a president to lead in the past. Well, this is his time to lead. When we talk to the people out there that aren't the ones on the Mar-a-Lago golf course, you hear what's really happening. They look at those grocery bills. They look at their electricity bills. Those things aren't deep fakes. Those things don't lie. Those things are real. So what are they facing? Healthcare cliff. 20 million Americans are set to see their premiums double when they pick a plan starting November 1st. And for those of you that ask, why are you doing this now? This isn't a December thing. This isn't a January thing. This is a now thing. This is happening right now. And the only way to fix this is to do something about it now. Those families that don't know if they're going to have cancer research, and those researchers on Alzheimer's that are looking at going to other countries and looking at what's happening with NIH, this is a now thing. So I hope people remember that this is not a funny deep fake meme. This is not anything he says. And for those people in my state that voted for me and him, and there's a lot of them, they actually thought he'd bring costs down. That's what he said would happen on day 1. Well, it is day 253. And people are paying more for their prescription drugs. They're paying more for their beef. They're paying more for their groceries. And they're paying more for their electricity. And they're sure paying more for their health care premiums. This is his moment to lead.
I'm struck by the extent to which sort of DC brain has infected us all, where we think that this is some sort of cooked up demand. The reason that we are trying to take action now on health care is because people's premiums are going up this coming week by letter. I got a text from a buddy of mine in my fantasy football league, but it was but it was not a trash talking text. He got a letter, 40% increase for his father's premiums. This is not a talking point. This is not an allegation. This is literally what's happening. And 40%, you should be lucky if it's a 40% increase. The average increase is going to be 114%. And so the time to solve this problem is now. Open enrollment is now. Letters are going out now. Now, some insurance companies are sending out letters saying, your rates are increasing, but we're not sure by how much. And some insurance companies are being jawboned into not even sending letters at all. Now, there is only one thing worse than your rates going up on January 1. It is not being told until December that your rates are going up on January 1. People are going to lose their health care. This is not a joke. This is not a political talking point. This is what's going to happen across the country. The idea that this is some Democratic priority or independent priority or Republican priority is nonsense. Tens of millions of people are specifically going to see a 114% increase, and everybody else is in the same risk pool. And so all we're saying is, look, if we were... This is a very damaging issue for Republicans. And if we were terribly cynical, we would just let them stew in it. But we want to solve it because we care in our bones about the people we represent. And so there is still an opportunity to do something about this. There is still an opportunity to do something about this. None of us like shutdowns. But the only way to avoid a shutdown is to sit down between the political parties, and that includes the party out of power, and to make a deal. There's still time.
Start off with Buffalo.
All right.
From the Bills.
All right. Thank you, Senator.
He's from Buffalo, you know.
Yes, I am. At this point, it seems like a shutdown is inevitable. When you get to that point, what's the plan to get out of it?
Look, first, it's right now in the Republicans' court. We said this to Trump yesterday. He can easily call up Thune and Johnson and say, just add the two parts we want added to the bill. They can take it out of our bill, put it in theirs, and solve it. So it's in their court. And let me just say, the American people are learning how bad this health care crisis is, and they will put tremendous heat on Republicans to solve it. Yes?
Leader Thune just said that there are going to be no negotiations with Democrats if the government is shut down. So how long are Democrats willing to stomach the shutdown?
Look, it's in their court to solve it. It's their shutdown. And as I said, they are going to face tremendous pressure from the American people. Trump in the room admitted, I said to him, this is going to be very bad for you, these increases in the health care. And it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for America or anybody. And he admitted that. So I think we believe that this is an issue worth fighting for. We hope the Republicans avoid the shutdown. But if they do it, it's because they didn't even negotiate with us till the last minute. Yes?
The president is now threatening these irreversible cuts to the workforce, to programs. Is that a risk that Democrats are willing to take?
The bottom line is he's doing it anyway. They've already cut 300,000 people. Whether there's a shutdown or not, it'll be up to Trump whether he's going to let Musk, formerly Doge, vote, do these cuts, do these layoffs, and do these firings. It will fall on him, as I said. He's the one doing the firings, not Democrats. And that's what it shows. Yes. No, right here.
Senator Schumer, Times poll out this morning finds that 2% of Americans rank healthcare as the #1 problem facing the country, which is to say, a very small percentage. How do you think about that disconnect between the language you all are using? This is
It's not what it's, I don't know what the poll numbers were, because yes, without question, wherever we go, wherever we talk about it, it has our back on this issue, and it shows that who do you trust much more? Who do you trust more to deal with the health care crisis? They trust Democrats. And one final thing, they're going to start getting these notices tomorrow. A lot of people don't know it. But once they start getting these notices, and there's these huge, staggering increases, you know, we thought it was $400 per family on ACA, and somewhat more, somewhat less for people not on ACA. Now it's more, it's 114%. They're going to be staggered, and they're going to say, what's happening? And we're going to be right there explaining to them, it's because the Republicans wouldn't negotiate with us. We're ready to do it any time, and there'll be huge heat on them on this issue. Nope, last one, this gentleman. Had to call on someone from this side, the left side.
Over the last decade and a half, in instances when Republicans have shut down the government over one issue or another, order ACA funding, they did not get the policies that they were requesting. What makes you think this will be different for Democrats?
Because the health care crisis that they created, in part because we asked them 3 times to vote on extending the ACA, and they voted no 3 times. And we believe that this issue is a real issue for the American people. We also believe that when there's a a Republican president, a Republican Senate, a Republican House, the natural inclination is to blame the Republicans. That's what the polling data shows. Who do you know, a neutral question, who do you blame, Democrats or Republicans? It's like +20, they'd blame the Republicans. And we also believe the fact that they wouldn't negotiate with us, which became clearer last week when Trump said yes and Trump said no, the American people don't like that. So we think we're on our front foot as we go into this fight. Thank you, everybody.
And congratulate him on his new grandchild. Yeah,
in the middle of the caucus, my phone rang, and it was my wife. We have a beautiful little boy, name yet not told to us by our daughter and daughter-in-law.
Congrats. Congrats.
Good seeing you.
Honey.